Hello, greetings, good morning, good afternoon, or evening. You're on to Augustine again, and I'm here to give us another broadcast. If you're tuning into my broadcast for the very first time, I would appreciate it if you can click on the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so that anytime I'm live, you get the notification. Today, the title of my broadcast is The Past, the Present, and the Future of TVC Community. It's been wonderful within our Kringle Private Society, and I have a whole lot to say this morning. I trust God to help me to manage my time. You know, so first of all, I would want to say that we have gone to a very reasonable distance. I mean, we've covered a reasonable mile in our TBC community. Well, let me start my broadcast by talking about the meeting we had yesterday. Those of us who will be listening to this broadcast, either live or much later, I would advise you, I would crave your indulgence. I will plead, please do well to attend our meetings. Our daily meetings, mass adoption meetings, the contents that are being given there are so huge that you cannot afford to be missing out of the information that are being put by the administration of the TBC community. You know, there was one of the contents, one of the messages, or one of the text messages that someone said during the broadcast that was going on yesterday. He said that, admin, I used to think that you were a human being like me, but I now see that you're not just a human being, you're a superhuman. No, don't get it twisted. Every human being has grace. Every human being has a gift. Every human being has their ability. And human beings vary from person to person. And the administration had this ability all this while, but it was actually put there for the purpose that TBC now exists for, which is to make the world a better place. So he is not anything less than a human being. He has blood running in his veins. He has a soul. He has a spirit. He is just like you and I. So don't begin to attach anything to what TBC is or what the administration is. He's just a human being with the grace of God to execute this particular purpose. I'm going to talk a whole lot about so many things today, and I want you to please do well to understand everything I'm saying. I am saying this so that people can understand where we came from. I am not here to talk about the past of how we started from the first wallet, the wallet failed, the second one. I'm not talking about that. Now, my concern today is on how TBC will move forward. So the bulk of what I'll be talking about will be the future of TBC. But it will be good we talk about the past of TBC. After we talk about the past quickly, then we talk about the present status quo, then we talk about the future. And as soon as I'm through, that will be all. Now, talking about the past, the reason why so many people in our TBC community that are old members are not working alongside with us anymore is because there was something that was put out by the administration sometime 2017, and that had to do with associating TBC with a particular fiat currency or a banking system, which, as at then, he said, is not under the influence of any banking system or elite-controlled system. And the people bought into it. But based on some circumstances beyond his control, he decided to what? Let go of that particular pursuit. We're going to go back to it and look into it, and I'm going to review it again, and I'm going to explain it based on the present circumstances and why that thing had to be dropped. The problem with people is that they do not want to move forward. They prefer holding on to the past, and it's not good to hold on to the past. When things like this happen, move forward, because this TBC is a new kind of system. There hasn't been anything like TBC before. So those of us that are old members and decided to give up, you think the administration is a superhuman. Well, if he was a spirit being or he had some divine godlike kind of tendency, he would have been able to see ahead of time and he wouldn't have made such mistakes. So these things are to make you understand that mistakes has happened in the TBC community, And he has actually learned from his mistakes and wants to move forward. So we're going to quickly go into a particular blog, and I'm going to explain the blog based on the circumstances now, not the circumstance then. And then after that, we move into the present. The present has to do with TBC and Life Force. That's the present. And our association with Life Force is what will give us what we intended achieving as at then, when we wanted to associate ourselves with a particular banking system. TBC is going to be, I am saying this because I understand how we are going to form assemblies shortly. We are going to form excellent assemblies, and we'll be churning out assemblies from every nooks and crannies, from Sweden, from Netherlands, from South Africa, from UK, from US, from China, from Nigeria, from Cameroon, and all that. So I want you to understand that when that happens and the administration presents himself, Life Force will compare what they've been doing before the advent of associating with TBC and what they are now doing after the association of TBC. They will see that TBC has been able to provide over maybe 1,000 or more assemblies to them within a very short while, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And they'll be like, there is something behind this particular organization that is very lovely, and they would like to associate, because we're in a race against time to make sure that Bill Gates and the likes do not take over the system using their mandatory vaccine system. He had Microsoft, he created the virus, he's now doing the same thing on human beings. So they want to make sure that as soon as possible, they overthrow his system. So that's why they will embrace TBC and allow us to start forming assemblies. That doesn't mean that it will be only us to create monopoly. No, it will be open for all. But at some point, people will find out that, man, TBC has the structure. We just have to submit to TBC. I am saying what will happen. You may think I'm joking, but when it starts unfolding, you are going to see it. Let me not talk about the present, because I just spoke about the present. Let's move about the past. So let me share my screen. All right, I think screen is now being shared. Okay, so I move here. Now, this is the content. Remember that this content was one of the reasons why people left the community, because they think or thought that the administration is a superhuman and that the superhuman should see everything and know everything. And some of them were like, come on, what do you mean? I mean, why wouldn't we have associated ourselves with the bank and submitted to their terms and conditions? No, TBC is private. TBC wants to return the world to a better place for all of humanity to live in. The banking system has been a tool in the hands of the elites to manipulate humanity, and they are the ones responsible for 99% of poverty across the entire world. So the administration has an understanding of what these banking systems are. And if he submits to their terms and conditions, he has lost credibility, and TBC will go down the drains the same way Bitcoin went down the drains. You may think Bitcoin is up and standing, but no. The purpose of Bitcoin has been compromised. It cannot free humanity as the original intent of Satoshi Nakamoto. All right, so let's read this content. It's not much. I'm not going to explain so much. I'll read it as fast as possible, and then after that, I say one or two things, then move into the present. This is just what I want to talk about concerning the past. Well, I think when I'm prompted to speak, I will speak. So let's begin. Now, this, as at it started, it was put on the May 17th, 2017. So let's read. This is a very exciting time for TBC, and coming soon, as early as June, we will have the official worldwide TBC fiat currency exchange ready to test. Now, our bank exchange partner and I are very excited to bring TBC into the mainstream with the fiat currency exchange I mentioned in our last article. You can actually talk about it by clicking here and knowing about it. Because of time, I wouldn't do that. Now, some other people are offended with the administration, saying the administration did not apologize to the TBC community. The administration did not take down that blog in the TBC community. The administration said that we are going to have an ATM card and we are going to use it to do transactions as much as $500 and all those things. And he did not take it down, that the administration has guts and he's not a reasonable person. So many people had that mindset. But I want you to understand that over time, you would understand why he did not take it down. You see, I said people have abilities, and one of the things that the administration has is what you call foresight. He sees the global view of things. Now, when you read this particular article in the next 2, 3, 4 years, you are going to begin to see reason in what he has done. Because very soon, as we bring a new system into reality, we are not going to take down the existing system. We don't intend compromising all the systems. If the system chooses to submit themselves to our authority, we are not going to crush them. We can exist with them based on our terms and conditions. Now, time will speak for me on that part. That's part of the future. So let's read quickly. Now, this is not a trading platform. This is not a peer-to-peer escrow service. This is a TBC fiat currency exchange for the major currencies from around the world, much like what you see at the airport. Only this will be accessible online. Super exciting. Convert TBC into fiat currencies like the USD, Euro in a matter of minutes, plus many, many more. We currently have, as at then, these numbers, verified members in TBC, and 149,561 have already set up a Kringle Cash account as at then. Now, in both cases, this is too many people to start a test with, because like all things tech, this will need to be tested and debugged as needed. Otherwise, we could end up in chaos. Plus, by the time we roll out this exchange, we expect our fiat. By the time we roll out this exchange, we expect our membership numbers to be well over 1 million by then. Now, that's just too many people to start this TBC currency exchange to fiat. So we believe 10,000 people will be perfect, will be a perfect test, or will be the perfect test group to get this started. It's a large number, but we all agree that we could manage whatever chaos that may come out of this test with that size of number or with that size group. Now, our selected process for testers is very simple. All you need to do to become a tester is be within the first 10,000 to pay the subscription fee as at then. Now, upfront for your tester, am I right? For your Kringle Cash back office, sorry. Now, people that just pay the monthly subscription $1 fee for Kringle Cash are not committed enough to be testers. Let's read that again. People that just pay the monthly $1 fee for Kringle Cash are not committed enough to be testers. Pay attention to what I'm saying. There is something that the administration is pointing out. Though an old article, pay attention. People that just pay the monthly, now it's no more $1, okay? It's 8 grains of old. Now, the mindset of the administration as at then, because remember that there is now core team, mass adoption team, and the rest of the billionaires, which majority of them will fall under paying monthly subscription. The serious ones will pay yearly. And he has already put it down here that those who are paying monthly looks like they are not committed enough to making this thing a success for the tester program. Let's continue. We expect the test period to last 6 to 8 weeks, maybe longer, depending on how well the test group follows instructions. We will send out a bulk email to the first 10,000 people qualified to become testers, and we'll ask for confirmation that they want the job from each of them based on the expiration dates of the free trial period of use and access to Kringle Cash back office. We fully expect to fill the 10,000 tester positions within a week from today. So if you want to be a tester, do not delay. making that $10 in Bitcoin. Now, as at then, $10 was yearly subscription. I hope we remember those old members. $10 was a monthly subscription, a yearly subscription. The $1 was a monthly subscription. As at then, it was before the invent or the adoption of monthly subscription fee. This was before then. So please put this at the back of your mind. Okay? Once the door is closed on this special opportunity, it is closed and final. I can't imagine why all of our TBC members would not want to be one of these 10,000 testers. So you all should hurry up and get in line for this. We are almost through. Once our bank exchange partner and I agree to the test, agree that the test was a success, all of the bugs that may show up get sorted out properly, we will open up the official worldwide TBC fiat currency exchange to the entire TBC community all at once at that time. Even if the TBC community reaches 1 billion members before we conclude the testing, this is a game changer in the cryptocurrency world. It's such an exciting time for all of us that believe in TBC and its mission to end poverty globally. TBC discounters, the administration is saying, that was then. I don't think there is any TBC discounter, so I don't think it's necessary to read. Okay, now let's read. I want to sincerely thank all of you that have been faithful in honoring the membership agreement and for every effort you have made in building TBC community. Now comes the reward. Now, this was then, and due to one or two of foreseen circumstances, it didn't work as proposed. But the bottom line is this: it came and it went. We moved forward. We continued to build TBC by gathering our membership, and we kept gathering membership, and at this point, we were still building on being a self-sustaining system, and we then came across Life Force. Now, when we came to Life Force, we found out that there were powers that be were in charge before the existence of Life Force. And as at now, there is a change in the administration of the system. And that is where Kim Gogan came in and I've forgotten the other person. There are about 3 of them. Now, these people want to change the world for the better. I have finished talking about the past. Now, I'm going to talk about the present. Now, the present is talking about, it would lead me into our Kringle Cash back office. Wow, I've actually been logged out already. Permit me, let me log in so that I can talk about it. I didn't put it on 14 days. I know, I did that for a purpose. So as we're saying, now let me quickly move into new private blog. My network should hurry up. Okay. All right. So this was where I wanted to go to here. Now, for your information, this particular broadcast has already been aired, and I am actually not airing it again, okay? But the content that was put down by the administration was catchy. I wouldn't read everything, but I'll read a few of it. Now, I am on the present, not on the past anymore. I am on the present. Now, on the present, we are getting ourselves organized to work with Life Force. That's what we are at the present. And at this present, what is the agreement we have with Life Force? Number 1, Life Force is an independent organization, and they want to give life to humanity based on the terms and conditions. Life Force is it's like a butterfly. Before a butterfly, it was a caterpillar. A metamorphosis took place. A change in administration had to take place due to the divine will of God. It is now good people that are in charge. It is still the elites that we thought were in charge of our system. are the ones that are still there, but no more in the hands of evil people. It is now in the hands of the good people. The evil people that had this agenda that by 2030 you own nothing and you'll be happy. These are the elites. Take note of what I'm saying. And those people plan to make sure that they kill off all the rest of humanity, reduce the population to 500 million, and then usurp control over everybody. That's the agenda the elites had. Okay? Now, this point, based on God's will, it has actually failed. It is now in the hands of the good guys, and they want to return the power back to the people. They want to balance the system to make sure that humanity can enjoy abundance. Remember the likes of health assurance card, the likes of the fundings that will be coming in. It is because of this overarching authority above the central banks, above the world banks, above the IMF, above the Bank of International Settlements, are now the ones in charge. They are the ones that have the technology. They are the ones that have what it takes to make this world now a better place. These are the people that TBC community now wants to work with to make sure that being an organized system, we are able to get properly organized, get properly rectified, understand what is required of us to take part in this life force, and then receive fundings. Now, TBC wants to be and will be, TBC wants to be and will be an assembly factory. And very soon, the administration will align himself with life force, because life force are trying their best to interact with people, trying their best to tell people, come and get yourself organized. But because the media are the ones that are controlling the narrative as at now, life force is finding it difficult to be able to flow. They are finding it difficult to be able to, pass on their information. Hence, the TBC community to the rescue. TBC community will help them to get all the number of people in multitudes. Our numbers is limited to, for now, 360,000. If you look at the calculation, 12,000 assemblies by 30 multiples of 30, it runs down to about 360,000. Now, that does not mean that that's all the number we need. No, we are going to subdivide them into different categories: national level, state level, and local level. Now, that's why I'm on the present, and I'm going to read this content. Please do well to go to the meeting section, watch the video. I just want to review some things. If you watch the video and you're an active member, you put the keyword, you get your TBC, one whole TBC. So I don't want to read this. This content is not what I need to read at this point. These ones have already been read. Now, these ones have already been read. I'm going to actually read from here. This is where I want to start from this point. And then after that, I'll now talk about life force, and I call it quits. TBC is getting more organized. If you're listening to me, I want you to understand TBC is getting more organized, and the opportunity to join us is now, because we are filling out the billionaire level. The TBC community has not said anything about interacting with TBC, using TBC. It is when we start with food subsidy centers that one will begin. And when that begins, man, TBC will be the talk of the world. I mean, TBC will be the talk of the world. Why am I saying it? Simply because we would have been able to churn out over 12,000 assemblies by then or more. We would have been able to get fundings. Several millions of money would have been sent down to us using the banking system that you and I are familiar with, fiat currency system. And that would have been something that people will be able to use to fund humanitarian projects. And where is the organization we need now to help us get organized and get funded? It is Life Force. Where is the organization that will help to organize the 30 people to get these fundings? It is TBC. So TBC is positioning itself to be an invaluable asset for Life Force. And at the same time, TBC is also setting up food subsidy centers to turn the world around at a 50-50. Are you also aware that very soon, the paper money you see will soon be backed up by gold? Are you also aware that TBC is measured by gold? The difference between us and fiat currency, our currency and fiat, is because our fiat currency will look like a stable asset. TBC will continue to appreciate in value, just like inflation is going up, and you are using more money to purchase the same thing. In our TBC community, it's the other way around until we get to 1 billion. So what does that imply? You can keep up your money in TBC and it continues to gain value as fast as possible because people will be rushing in. So that net worth value will continue to appreciate because it's our membership agreement. All right, let's talk about the present and then we talk about the future. The future is going to be as brief as possible because I have talked about the past, I've talked about the future, small, and I've talked about the present, which I'm still talking about. So I'll read this and then we'll talk about life force and we call it quits. Now the administration is saying, I have pulled the data from the United for Food app today and sent the following data to the chairpersons as follows, which are the chairmen. Now 157 has been paid out of 5,214 in Ivory Coast. I thank God for Ivory Coast. Now this time in this month of August, this is 868. As at last month, it was 957 out of 2016 from India, meaning that some people have dropped. Well, it is to their own demise. Sorry, it is to their own, I think it is to their own, I don't know what to say. It's up to them. If they choose to go down, well, TBC is going to give you an opportunity. And if you are not worthy of it, then some other person will take your position. So I hope these people will come back by the month of September. 196 out of 1,016 from Nigeria. 196 out of 1,016. Wow, Nigeria is not doing very well, but it is all good. 376 out of 1,120 from Bangladesh. And then 286 out of 518 from Cameroon. 76 out of 183 from Philippines. I think Philippines are doing well, but the numbers need to step up. And 552 has been, okay, 177 out of 352 from Ghana. Now, these things are showing the level of participation towards these food subsidy centers. Now, as soon as we get more organized, get properly rectified, I tell you that these numbers will also step up. So let's keep doing our part to see how it goes. Now, this is what the administration says. This is a demonstration that the admin is not raising funds for selfish purpose. Once we develop 1,000 of these food subsidy centers, it will cost $25 million a month to keep the shelves stocked up, which is $25,000 every month subsidy times 1,000. Now it is going to be launched with $50,000. Please, let's take notes. It will be launched with $50,000. Consequently, it will be $25,000. So if we are going to get that fundings, let's not fool ourselves. We need to work. We need to try our part. You need to keep doing what we are. Even if you are not doing any other thing, at least pay your subscription fee. You need to understand the system to be able to do that and so help you. Now, it's a false accusation that the admin is getting rich off the program fees paid, and I'm in agreement with that. The administration has better things to do, and he has better plans. He will not take advantage of the money that is at his disposal. Life force restoration plan. Remember that we are in the present, and the content is quite much. Like, wow, it's quite much. I don't have so much to say, but then there is something I wanted to just talk about, and it's about this. So I'll just read this quickly as much as I can, and then I'll call it quit. Now let's hear it. I selected TBC leaders this week and gave them access to the contact data of the members in their country so that they could quickly reach out to those listed and invite them to be one of the national assemblies of their country. I want us to pay good attention to this. Now, they just need 30, including themselves, which is 29 actually, because themselves makes it 30. Now, they should use all the data and a lot of common sense, because this is what matters most, a lot of common sense. Do not use the yardstick that the administration used to also do that, although you should use some of it, not all of it, common sense. Let's keep hearing. Now, on the selection process, for example, now they should select representatives from all parts or regions to be a part of the National Assembly. So I was trying to say something yesterday. I was trying to make a contribution, but one thing or the other came up and then I cut off. Now, in this kind of thing, the administration is trying to make us understand that there are several sects, the minority sect, the majority sect. Some people I'm talking from the perspective of Nigeria. Some people are from Jos. Yeah, some people are from Jos. That's a minority sect. Now, there are some people that will also come from very, very minute places. And if you are willing to work with TBC to make TBC happen, I believe that in this our assemblies, you will find some of these people. It should not be that 50% of them are from a particular sect. No. As much as possible, there should be a 25% distribution from every country. There should be 25% Yorubas, 25% Hausas, 25% Igbos, 25% middle belt, 25% minority tribes. With that, there will be balance. Now, there may be a time discretion will matter. And discretion simply means if the person is attending meetings and the person is having, even if it is one Bitcoin bounty from a minority sect, the person may have to play in. This is what I mean, common sense. Because if you don't do that, the same error and mistake. Now, when you look at the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you will find out that his cabinets are made up of a particular sect of people. Some people say, well, it is a wrong system to apply. If you apply that system into the TBC community, then TBC is plunging towards failure because it will begin to cause what you call apartheid, nepotisms, and all those nonsense that we know. So let's please put this at the back of our mind. And not just that, and not just those that have high Bitcoin bounty earnings. So the administration is giving you a tip of the iceberg. Wisdom is profitable to direct. I use high Bitcoin bounty earnings as the primary point of selection and meeting attendance as the secondary point of selection so that I would not be accused of playing favorites in the way I selected leaders. I have explained over and over again in this blog that TBC is a meritocracy and that bounty income is the number one way to measure TBCians' merit in our organization. So I want us to please put this at the back of our mind. Now, let's hear this last one. Now, keep in mind that these leaders are being called to gather 30 members each to set up a national assembly, but they are not being chosen. Hear this, but they are not being chosen to lead it. So if you are picked up as a leader, it is not a guarantee that you have Bitcoin bounty, you've attended the meeting, that automatically qualifies you to be the overseer of the 30 people. No, there must be diplomacy, there must be interactions, there must be tete-a-tete. People must come together to check out the profile, the intellectual capacity of these 30 people, and then the best, most qualifying person will lead, provided he will submit to the principles of the TBC community. That's all, common sense. Let's continue. Now, let the 30 that come together vote in their officers, just like we do with committees. Now, this is actually a perfect way of picking the right people. And it is in the hands of the 30 people to select their own leaders. The point is that we create these assemblies as fast as possible. So the world is falling apart and the funding will only go through assemblies. So we need to hurry. Your government is not getting any fundings from the global repository because they did not accept Kim Gogan's offer in time. In fact, those guys, well, it was divine. The scripture says the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. Like rivers of water, he turns it wherever he wants. So I think it is God's will to harden the hearts of these people so that power will be taken away from them, moving into the hands of the ordinary man, you and I. Now, this is a crisis, and we don't have a lot of time to organize ourselves to get the funding flowing to the people. Let's take the drama route. Let's take the least drama route to gather and set up assemblies at all levels, including national level, state level, and city level. TBC is a drama-free zone, and I hope we do the part we can to make sure we get there. Now, let's talk about the future. I can't exhaust everything, but I've said so much. Now, concerning the future, in the future, TBC will be known as a currency of the people, by the people, and for the people. TBC will have several assemblies, TBC will be known as one of the major forces that are helping to give people to life force in the form of assemblies to receive fundings and make the world a better place. TBC will have several committees. There will be committee of works, there will be committee of foreign affairs, there will be committee of different things. Now those committees will get organized and will execute their own projects. We'll be able to set up systems, we'll be able to create things, employ labor and pay them in 100% TBC. And when that happens, TBC will help in making the world a better place. TBC will have so many things to contribute to humanity. That's what the future will be. And in that cause, there will be people that would need TBC and they wouldn't have TBC because they came in late or they were careless and lost it. There will be people that will need TBC and they will need to buy it in exchange for TBC. Those are going to be the millionaires. There will be people that will need TBC. People would convert their wealth. People will convert all of their money into TBC because it's digital and it is not paper money. Paper money will continue provided life force still exists and they still want to use the existing banking system. But TBC will be better to work with because people will save their money and nobody will know that they have money. And it's actually a stable money because by then would have hit 1 billion active members. TBC is going to renew the reality of now. TBC is going to bring heaven down on earth. You know, time will fail me to be able to explain step by step what TBC will do. Are you a member in the TBC community? Are you still dilly-dallying? Are you still thinking TBC is going to fall by the road anytime soon? Change your mindset. This is my humble advice to you. I think I'll stop at this point. And good day, great leader. Thank you very much. I've actually shot beyond my time. I do appreciate your content. Paulinus Onovo. So I want you to do your part and let TBC be a better place for all, you know. And I hope you can like my video, share my video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed. So till I come your way again, cheers and God bless you. Bye for now.